And then they started, okay, so we found all these characters, and what they were having to do next was like assign what roles they wanted for people. And because, you know, I was an actor too, and I was already playing Yamcha, I thought, I'll submit my auditions too, just for the heck of it. But no one had their name on it, so when we gave it to the producers, they went through and they picked all the people they wanted. And they're like, all right, we want this guy for Vegeta. I go, that's me. They go, all right, guess you're Vegeta. They go, all right, we want this person as Chi-Chi. I'm like, cool. We want this person as Piccolo. I go, actually, that's me as well. They go, looks like you're playing Vegeta and Piccolo. All right, and I don't know to this day, I would love to find out how much of that was weighted in like, Chris is good at mimicking these Canadian voices, and you know, he's the only one with a deep voice that actually can speak in complete sense, or whether it was, man, we're already paying him a salary. We don't have to pay him anything. If we give him as many voices as we can, then we don't have to pay him anything more, and it saves us all money. So I have no, I'm gonna suspect that that might have been the case. And I don't think they nor I had any clue that it was gonna turn out like that. Like, I don't think we had, I didn't know that I would still be here doing this 15 years later. I thought this was gonna be a year-long job or something like that, but it just never ended. Dragon Ball Z just never stopped. And once the series stopped, we did some, like, we redid some of it, and then we did Dragon Ball, and then the video games started rolling out, and then we started redubbing certain things, and then Kai came out, and then it just never, ever ended, and it's still not over with. I've said before in other panels that like Dragon Ball Z is actually like a Dragon Ball Z villain, where you think it's over, and then the smoke clears, and it's standing there all battle damaged, going, you haven't seen my next transformation. And that's kind of how it rolled out. And so at first I was copying, you know, that was a hard thing. At first I was copying the voices from the Canadian cast. I'm sure all of you who watched Dragon Ball Z on TV remember that terrible day when you ran home from school and you were like, yes, Dragon Ball Z's back on again, I can't wait, turn it on. And like all the voices are changed. You're like, what the heck is wrong with my world? That was us, you're welcome. That happened because they were recording it in Canada originally, and the producers were getting sick of flying to Canada, for one. B, they knew they lived in Texas, and they just wanted to record it in Texas. And C, they were just having a hard time kind of keeping a consistent cast. They'd already gone through 2 or 3 Gokus in Canada because they just could not keep a solid person in that role, whether it just didn't pay enough or it just was too stressful or whatever. They just could not keep their actors on that show. So they brought it to Texas. And that was a tough thing for me to have to copy a voice like Brian Drummond's as Vegeta, or like Scott McNeil's as Piccolo. Those are incredible voices. These dudes are guys that were on all the freaking amazing shows that I watched when I was a kid. I mean, these were dudes that were like on, you know, Transformers and G.I. Joe and you name it. They're still all amazing professional actors. So, yeah, that was a bit of a challenge. And I remember first going to conventions after this, and there'd be a room about the size of yesterday's panel, if you guys were here, like about 10 people. I go, hi, I'm Chris Sabat, I'm in Dragon Ball. Ooh. And they go, do you have any questions? Yeah, why'd you guys mess up the music? I go, that was not my decision. We just changed the music because I don't know why. Maybe because the Japanese music, we didn't get anything from the Japanese except for the music track to sound like this. It was like the noisiest, loudest, terrible. It sounded like it came off like dubbed straight from your grandmother's broken record player. And so they made new music, and that didn't make very many people happy. And then they were like, why'd you change the story? And we go, why'd you change the translations? I go, that wasn't my decision, but we just didn't have good translations. The translations we got from Japan were these weird looking, crappy pieces of photocopied paper that were almost in no discernible order, and they would say something like ta 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 ha ha, battle power, ta 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 ta. And so we were just doing our best to kind of figure out what's going on. And they also like, why did you censor it? I'm like, well, because we're putting on TV, and you can't have blood on TV. You can't have people drinking beer on TV. This is in 1999, 2000, 2001. So the people didn't understand the concept of a cartoon that was not for children. There wasn't a tolerance for that yet. Now we all know that animation is for anyone's age, but it was not the case back then. So we worked on Dragon Ball. I did.
Vegeta is this little angry guy with a hemorrhoid problem, and he's somewhat in love with his wife Bulma. He's about this tall in real life, I imagine.
And
I play Piccolo. He's like way up here, and he chills in icebergs. And he was kind of a demon in Dragon Ball, but he's not in Dragon Ball Z. He's a very confusing character for me, honestly. And I always joke about this. I'm sorry if you've heard it before, but I feel like Piccolo's role in the whole movie is to treat Gohan like a puppy. Go on, stay. Gohan, don't go, stay, do it now. Gohan need to go outside.
And then, of course, there was the original character I played. He was Yamcha, and he's this guy, he's like really cool in Dragon Ball, and then the more the series goes on, he becomes lamer and lamer, and then by the end of it, like, he's sort of a shell of himself, but I guess if you had a hand through your heart, you kind of went to hell, and then were resurrected again, and maybe you kind of have a weird outlook on life after that. Especially if your girlfriend ends up like having kids with probably the most evil person you've ever seen. So I don't blame him for being a little bit messed up in the head afterwards. And then throughout the time, like I wasn't, so I played
this guy named Raccoon, and he's real stupid, and I realized the more I played him, just the dumber he got.
Like, someone actually pointed that out to me. They're like, you know, Raccoon's getting really dumb. I'm like,
I'm sorry.
it's just becoming more and more fun to make him stupider and stupider. And then I played Sabat in the original Sabat. Just sounds like a homosexual Yamcha, yeah. Yeah, I played this cat named Corin, and he had the sacred water, and that was awesome.
I played Kami. He ran around with this man named Mr. Popo, and they grabbed the sacred ointment from the big dragon, rubbed it upon their bodies.
And then I played Mr. Popo. Mr. Popo does not lie.
I've later given some of these roles to other people because some of them I actually